You're about to watch about 400 hours of progress in this chunk-locked account. It's been 2 months since I walked into the West Lumbridge swamp where I unlocked Mithril and Adamant, which came with a massive grind. At the time, I committed to at least doing all of the Mithril smithing and up to level 70 smithing to make at least one adamant bar. Since then, I've explored ways to get more nature runes because I don't have a furnace and need to rely on superheat item, get a slightly better pickaxe because even one tick of faster mining speed can save potentially hundreds of hours here. And today, we only need one more piece to the puzzle, and that is a fire staff, also for superheat item, and then a lot of mining. By the end of this video, you will see me get level 70 smithing and make a decision on if level 88 is something that is reasonable to do, or even with all the efficiency improvements that we've made, if it is still too much of a meme grind. This is Chunk Wizard. He wants to explore the entire map of RuneScape, but what he doesn't know is that the map is divided up into chunks, and he needs to do every task within a chunk before he's allowed to move on to the next one. So come with me as Chunk Wizard explores RuneScape one chunk at a time. With a little extra time at the Dark Wizards gone by now, it's the start of another workday for me, and I can't do this during a workday, it's just too many clicks per hour. So instead I'm going to make use of something else that we've gotten, and that is the U shortbow. Because of that, we now have the ability to fire the mithril arrows that I've been able to stock up over the course of killing thousands of Black Knights. Bring those with me, because we are going to the Lumbridge swamp caves again. Because, believe it or not, the mithril arrows with a couple more range levels are going to be better DPS than using earth spells. At least using Earth Strike. And getting more arrows is going to be a lot easier than getting the runes for Earth Magic. We know that these frogs give about 1 nature rune per kill on average, and 1 nature rune will smelt 1 mithril bar, which will smith into 15 arrows. Killing 1 frog takes less than 15 arrows. So if nothing else, this makes a self-sustaining loop. But then also, mithril arrows do pretty good damage. So it is both more self-sustaining as well as being better DPS once I get a couple more range levels. Obviously I still do need to kill the Dark Wizards for the fire runes and hopefully eventually getting a fire staff, but purely for nature runes, relying on ranged against the frogs is going to be my long-term option here. That's going to give me the most amount of nature runes per hour. Which brings us to level 55, a couple of hundred bolts made. We'll deal with those sometime in the future, but for now, we can move over to Mithril arrow tips. 15 at a time, and I'm just going to run through all the leftover Mithril bars that I have in the bank right now and turn them into arrow tips, turn them into arrows, and then we'll have a decent stockpile to do some more frog kills with throughout my workdays. And I figured I would save you me going through all of the testing again, so I did a bunch of testing where I processed iron into bars and I used those iron arrows to kill frogs so that I could get a good picture of what an iron only cycle would look like and what my XP per hour would be, even taking into account the amount of arrows that I'm using, the time that I take crafting any given arrow, so that I really can be sure that whatever I end up here takes every bit of data available and gives me the single best outcome option. This is all using my new Mithril pickaxe as well, which does help especially the mining time quite a bit. And we're up to my most efficient method at Mithril being 1700 XP per hour once everything is accounted for. So the amount of hours that I would need to spend to get to Adamant is down to only 2444. That means that our efficiency improvements have come up to about 400 hours saved, but this still will take a year. The plan now ends up being relatively simple. We're going to go through and do the entire Mithril grind. That's going to increase my level in both ranged, which will increase my frogs per hour kills as well, and mining, which will increase my, well, obviously mining speed, And then we're going to rerun all of these tests one more time to see how much more we can get the hours to Adamant down. And by the end of this video, we're going to have an answer to how long is our fastest method going to take, and are we going to do that? Crafting a level 20 finally. And just like that, we're going to start with these things. Good amount of sapphires to get started with, and these are really quick and easy to get through. And just after a couple of gems, I'm already level 21. There we go. Same inventory, level 22. In the meantime, I've just gotten to level 30 already, so that's 5 minutes to get 10 more levels. And we're not even out of sapphires yet. And that's all of the sapphires that we have. That's 12,000 experience worth of sapphires, and allow me to start cutting emeralds. And the last of the emeralds, which means that we're going to be moving on to the rubies, which give us 85 experience apiece. So that's, again, a little bit better. Level 36 now. But the sapphires definitely were going to be the bulk of the XP, but 85 XP per ruby for almost 100 rubies, that is still like 7k extra XP. Level 38, this might be the final level that we're getting, and that's the last gems that we had. Hard leather body, I've got some hard leather, I might be able to make that. Should just be needle on this and then hard leather body. Funny thing is, now that I am in for a long haul grind, I've started doing this during just entire days. I'm bringing in about 500 mithril ore a day, give or take. And I need about 6,500 still. So I'm going to be at this for a while. But as you can see, I don't have the hammer or the runes with me here to superheat item and do the whole cycle that I've been testing with so far. Just because my mining level is now getting up to a point where mining coal is relatively quickly, which means that it's not really as AFK friendly anymore. Doing the mithril is relatively AFK. As you can see, it takes a little while and I can click on it, look back at work, and then a minute later or so, click on it again, look back at work. That's doable. The coal is more like a 20 to 30 second downtime between clicks. I'm going to most likely be mining mithril during the day and then mining coal. Probably going to be doing that in like weekends and night hours, because it largely is just a good bit faster to mine coal, and I just can't do that during the workday. That does mean that in the end, right now, I am just mining in bulk, and then I'm going to be smelting and smithing them in bulk. And I don't know if that is particularly more or less efficient. It's probably a little less efficient because I'm walking back and forth to the bank a lot more. But I'm also maybe not missing as much downtime between mining. So in my mind, it probably just kind of cancels out, maybe, hopefully. We'll see. I'm just here minding my own business, and we've got another crash star just almost landing on my head. As somebody pointed out very helpfully in the comments of the video where I first discovered a crash star, having the stardust is probably going to be good, because when I run into Falador, there's a shop there for which I need stardust. I'm going to be stuck here for a long time. Would you look at that, level 70 mining, and I'm not even anywhere close to a similar level for smithing, even if I processed all of the mithril that I have so far, which is quite a lot. But that means that I can now mine adamant rocks. That's kind of crazy. It also means that AFKing is going to be a little bit more forgiving for me, because coal is at this point just not an AFKable thing for me to do. Mithril is somewhat AFKable, but I'm mining these so quickly. Also, that's a chunk task complete. We made progress. But I'm mining these mithril rocks so quickly at this point that I am pretty consistently running out of them before they can respawn and recycle. So my hope is that if I do a cycle of mithril and then just do both of the adamant rocks, that can kind of keep this cycle alive. How did this dark wizard get into the bank? What happened here? Anyway, as I started recording a clip, I figured we might as well just go through some of the gems. This is entirely through mining, and we can cut these for a good bit of crafting XP. I've got a lot of hard clues, by the way. These are not all doable, but when I get a hard clue, it's pretty rare to do so. If it's in a chunk even nearby, I add it to the pile that I juggle. In the end, even if within this one chunk I don't end up completing a hard clue, it'll be really nice to just have a stack of hard clues in the long term to maybe get a casket or two when I roll into Felidor or Verok. By then, I will have a lot of hard clues. And I also will have crafting level 40, which doesn't give me anything. As I've been stacking up coal after coal after coal, we're getting to 4,500. And let me just go catch that baby impling real quick. I wanted to talk about something else though, also tangentially baby impling related, because I can take out a chisel, and I believe with the amount of gems that I've gotten of mostly just mining, a little bit of random events, I should now be able to get to level 41 crafting. And while 41 crafting isn't our goal for this chunk, we're also not leaving this chunk anytime soon, so we've got plenty of time. 43 is our goal to cut a diamond. With level 41 that we have now, we can do a very special little thing, and that is make our studded body. Way back when we got our first leather body that we have, the normal leather body, we also made some studs, way more than I need, and now we can combine those to a studded body, which doesn't do anything for us. The accuracy improvement between normal and studded is the same as between normal and hard leather. This just gives it a little bit more defense, which I don't need. Still, that is, technically, a chunk task complete. Between all the mining, the clue juggling, the wizard killing, I think it's about time we spent some of the fire runes that I've stacked up over the past couple of days, over a week really, because just racking up banked experience isn't going to do me much good. The more I can cash in on that banked experience, which is why I want that fire staff, the more all of the XP lamps that I'm going to be getting will be worth as well. And the XP lamps, they're not the majority of the XP like they were maybe in a past grind. They're still going to be a notable amount of XP, and getting them to be worth more quicker is probably a good thing. I did just, of just experience lamps and experience stones and all that kind of stuff, get the last half a level or so to get to level 60 mining. That is a pretty big milestone. We're now at over 10,000 coal in the bank and a little under 4,000 mithril. I'm gonna go up to getting enough materials to get myself at least near level 70. On the way there, we're gonna get more XP lamps, and this number that we see right here, 5,798 more items. It's going to go down to maybe about 5,500. For now, the goal will be 4,000 mithril ore and 16,000 coal to make 4,000 mithril bars and just see how far we get with that. And that is a 4,000 mithril. Not accounting for any experience lamps, I'm going to need about 6,000, so another 50% on top of what I have right here. It's quite a lot, but for now, this is where I'm going to stop mining, and I'm going to focus all my efforts 100% on just getting clue scrolls from wizards. All this is fun and games, but we cannot really get started with this grind at all until I properly have a fire staff. I can get nature runes as much as I want, but without the corresponding fire runes or fire staff, they're worthless. As a quick reminder, a fire staff out of a beginner clue casket is a 1 in 44 roll. I get on average 2 rolls per casket. My source of them is Dark Wizards at 1 in 50, but every single clue scroll that I get only has about a 13% chance of being a step that I can do. So it's closer to 1 in 450. I need 3 steps on the ground in order to get a casket, for sure. So that's 1 casket every 12 to 1300 wizards. And I very likely need to get about 20 caskets. Am I going to bother you with going through that entire grind with me? No, I had to go through it. For you, I can just montage this shit. But let's open up this one. Okay. As always, there is a 10% chance that this is immediately going to give me a casket, and it did! What's this going to give me? Coif. Technically, that is an upgrade. I didn't have a headgear slot for my range loadout yet. Let's see what we get from it. It's 1 item again! What is with my luck in these caskets, man? This should be a casket, and it is, meaning that I still have 1 beginner clue on the ground to work with. Let's see, do we finally... Well, I don't even care about getting the fire staff at this point. I just want to get 2 items. I've done 5 of these caskets so far. All of them have had 1 item. I just want 2 items in... It's a short bow, and it is a rune scimitar ornament kit. If we ever get a rune scimitar, I guess that could be cool, but that's probably not happening anytime soon. Took literal days of just mining, but we've got another clue scroll that we can do, which makes 3 total beginner clue steps. Let's go get a casket, and please just be a fire staff so I can stop bothering. As always, we've got the 10% chance to just get a casket. We didn't. We've got a 10% chance to get another thing that I can do. We didn't. This should, in all likelihood, be the casket. Let's see. Nope, it's another clue. Can we do it? Close, man. It's in Varrock, but not quite. Let's see what this is going to give us. Well, it's going to give us a casket, but what is inside of that casket? I am hoping it's at least 2 items again. I've been getting so unlucky with these. Please give me something good. It's 3 items and it's all shit. Let's see, with step number 2, we get the caskets. Fire staff, I just want to get this over with. I just want a thing. Come on. My god, this is insane. A 1 item casket again, and it's a short bow. Let's dig it up. It's a casket. We're going to no suspense, just open it up. It is. Are you kidding? It's a 1 item chest, and it's also, oh my god, it's so much more rare. In 6 beginner caskets so far, I've gotten 2 uniques. This is severely messed up. Alright, let's see what you got for me. Is it going to be a casket? It is. Is it going to be anything good? God damn it. Maybe I don't need any other clues because this is just gonna give me the... Oh, I thought for a moment. Oh, that was almost. We've got a staff. It's an earth staff, but we've got a staff. This is the 1 staff out of the 3 that I can use. Obviously, water is entirely worthless to me. But between earth, air, and fire, earth is definitely the one that I need the least because just look at the amount of earth runes I have. Hey, there might not be a need for a next casket. So let's just see. Oh my god, this is just... There's gonna be a need for a next casket. Let's see what this casket has to offer. No way! This is a joke, right? What is going on in my life? What the hell? That again is a unique. That's the 3rd unique I've gotten. These items are 1 in 360. The item that I'm after is 1 in 40. Well, 44.5 or something like that. I have opened 14 of these. Just about everybody in the world probably would be happy with this. I am severely annoyed. Final dig. Casket time. It's... Come the Oh, what? Come on. Finally happened. I finally got a stale baguette. Unlike in Goblin mode, where it took me 1, well, actually 2 random events. Last step, this is guaranteed to give me a casket. Please, something good. That's not something good. Second step, and that gets me a casket. That's really, really nice. Please, just get this over with. And it's honestly insulting. Clue number 2 gets me the casket. Just give it to me, man. Steel plate legs is not what I meant with it, but... Sure. And that's a casket. Let's see. I saw fire. It's fire. It is fire. It's not the type of fire that I wanted, man. And it's a 3-step clue, but the last one is right here in Draenor Market. So let's see. We get a casket and we get just junk again, because that is what my luck is like, apparently. Oh, and fun fact, we have, with that casket, just arrived at 22 beginner clue caskets completed. I have a real quick break here that I can use to just record this clip, so let's go. And maybe these will be some of the last that I ever need to do. And theoretically, it could be as much as 4 caskets if they're all 1-steppers, but that seems unlikely. Oh, that, okay. This is a 1-step, and... Oh my god! It's 1 item. in a one-step glue, and it's finally the Staff of Fire. I am free. I'm gonna do the one more casket at least that I have, just for shits and giggles at this point, but I don't ever have to until I want a different item from this drop table, but I don't ever have to hunt for clues again, at least until I have more steps available than I do now. We're gonna do a quick little victory lap with the remaining clue scrolls that I have on the ground just to see if, hey, 2 fire staves? Maybe? It's theoretically possible. I just want to point out how many clue scrolls this took to do. I caught 380 baby implings for 8 beginner clue steps. I've caught 1226 young implings for another 42 beginner clue steps. I have killed 19,386 dark wizards for 354 beginner clue steps, and some miscellaneous clue steps from goblins, birds' nests, farmers, that kind of thing. Sadly, I didn't have the capability of tracking the amount of clues that I got from clue geodes, but to my best estimation, it is probably another 400 of them. So altogether, for this one item, that adds up to about 800 clue steps. That took me 2 months to do. Right now, I've been in this chunk for about 400 hours, and we finally have the fire staff, which means we can process a lot of ores and make good progress toward finishing mithril smithing. But first, let's just take a look at the remaining clue scrolls just for fun. I swear, if this is another one-step clue, I'm gonna— What are you talking about, man? What is this? It's just some iron arrows, I'm fine with that, but 2 one-step clues back to back. That said though, before going down and killing those frogs— Another— What the fuck are you talking about, man? This is insane. It's more junk, but what? That's 3 10% in a row. That's literally 1 in 1,000. As I was saying though, I'm going to probably use up the nature runes that I already have before heading down into the swamp cave, just because that's going to get me up to level 67. Nice. That's a lot more experience per XP lamp that I will get while down there. Is this going to be the best clip in the universe? Is it? No. It's not. That's a little too bad at this point. I would have kind of liked to get 4 in a row. Honestly, I'm also kind of happy that I didn't get 4 in a row, because I was honestly starting to think that beginner clue scrolls might just be bugged. But no, I just got that lucky. And it's time to cash in 2 months worth of mining. This feels ridiculously good. And for now, this is going to be the last of the nature runes that I had. Altogether, only took about 3 or so hours to process all of the mithril that I could, and now I have 3,114 mithril bars, which I get to run these to the anvil. I do now realize that I probably shouldn't be wearing the armor while I do this for the next, I don't know, 10-ish or so hours, but we've got the anvil right here, and I'm gonna keep making arrow tips because just so many mithril arrows. It's gonna be great. The one downside to doing it that way is that it does take a while to process an entire inventory worth of bars, whereas if I just did something that took 2 or 3 bars at a time, the XP rate would be significantly faster. But I've been in this chunk for at least 400 hours so far, I think more at this point. The slightly longer period of time between this taking 3 hours or 10 hours, I don't really mind. The last inventory for the time being of mithril bars to make into arrow tips, I've got 53, almost 54,000 mithril arrow tips at this point. Not going to make all of those into arrows right now, but that got me all the way to level 66, almost 67. Now I do have another 900 or so bars worth of material within the bank, but even that won't be quite enough probably to get me to where I want to be, which would ideally be level 70. It means that I need about 2,500 more nature runes. I'm going to get some lamps in the process. So let's go ahead and see how many mithril arrows we have. We still have about 7,000, And it's time to move all of these clue scrolls down to the Lumbridge Swamp, where I'm going to be spending the next couple of weeks getting a whole bunch more nature runes. It's been 2.5 days. Number one, my inventory is full of mostly coal. I could drop this, I can mine this so much faster. But also, my arrows are starting to run out. I've only got about 450 left. I've got over 1,000 nature runes, which is more than enough to process all of the stuff I have left in the bank as is. Level 68. We can make a Mithril plate body now if we want to. Let's just make one, because why not at this point? Let's just make Mithril everything, because if we don't end up with doing any of the Adamant stuff, that's gonna be our chunk tasks, making just Mithril everything. Except for the helmet, because I've got a better helmet already. But that is a plate body, plate legs, and a kite shield, and I believe that would be everything. A set of Mithril bolts, potentially, as well. That makes sense. And then some Mithril knives. I think I've already equipped those, but at this point, just variety hour, let's go for it. And a Mithril mace. And then a Mithril Warhammer, which I can't do yet because I don't have quite enough bars for that. Let's go get some more bars. And then we're now also at the level that I'm going to start using all of the banked lamps that I have, which probably will be 1 or 2 lamps, because I need to know the exact amount of experience that I need to get to level 70 from this point. Oh, and let's just equip all these so that we technically have done all of that as chunk tasks. Take some feathers to make these bolts into actual bolts. Again, technically equip them. Same with the knife. I think I've already done the knife before, but so you see I've done everything, equipped the stuff, and make the Mithril Warhammer, because that's technically a strength task that I would need to do, and everything else is going to go back into making arrow tips. And then I still need to get the curved bone. I still haven't gotten that. We've got 5 mystery boxes. Let's just go to a free-to-play world real quick and open those up. Because here in the free-to-play world, we have a better chance for them to be an experience lamp, and the first one isn't, the second one isn't, the third one is, the fourth one isn't, and the fifth one isn't either. 1 XP lamp is roughly what you expect out of 5 boxes, but let's dump that into smithing as well. A little bit of free smithing XP, that's I think 8 or 9 bars worth, so that's not too bad. And if I just could go to Varrock, man, I've got 22 frog tokens. This is 22 XP lamps. Now, with all of that out of the way, we can do our calculation for level 70. If I take Mithril bars and Mithril smithing actions all into consideration, 1,559 actions to go to get to level 70. I have no idea how long this thing has been in my inventory. I wasn't paying attention, I was just working. I'm AFK killing frogs for more nature runes, using magic right now because it means that I don't have to pick up the arrows, which helps a lot. Also just checking out some kills per hour for my spreadsheet with the different tiers of arrows that I have. But I'll look over because my inventory is full of big bones. I'm ready to go bury them, and I see a curved bone in my inventory. I picked it up without realizing, but that is a chunk task complete. 1 more lamp to go into smithing. And as you can see, I have more than the amount of nature runes that I said I needed. I've gotten some lamps while down here, so I'm a fair bit, like 50 nature runes over what I need. I want a little bit of wiggle room because I want to be able to do my iron and steel 30-minute, 1-hour long tests to update my spreadsheet, because by the end of the video, again, we should have an updated spreadsheet with all of the methods as they are right now, and all the information we have about, I don't think iron is going to change that much, but steel and mithril. My mining level has increased a lot since the last time I tested those, so I probably should get an up-to-date count on how long these things take and how much XP per hour that results into. And now we dump everything into the bank, take out our legendary item, the fire staff, take out our mithril pickaxe, and that's really all. Oh no, we'll also need the hammer. And as a reminder, because it's been a while, what I do is I mine, I superheat, and then I immediately go smith. This is the reason that iron is so busted. The smelt time is essentially 0. And with this third inventory, I think I'm going to keep it there for the iron test. 3 inventories is pretty good for iron because there's very little RNG going on here. That's pretty much the exact same speed and the exact same XP per hour that we'd had in the previous test, because again, previous test was around level 60. After 60, iron mining speed doesn't increase anymore. However, the next 2 tests, relying on coal and mithril, those will be heavily impacted by my improved mining level. While it's only 2 inventories worth of mithril, that still takes about 50 minutes, which is still an improvement because about the same amount before took, I believe, 65 minutes. Level 69, only 1 more level to go. And if you're paying close attention, you'll see my inventory has some new stuff in it. Let's talk tick manipulation, because I've got this knife and log combo here, and I've got some rocks. If I just mine normally with my pickaxe, I swing my pickaxe at this rock, and every 5 ticks the game is going to check if I successfully did this or not. And as you can see, that takes a while. Using a log and knife together for fletching takes 4 ticks. 1 tick for the menu to pop up, and then 3 ticks for the actual skilling action. If you commit the fletching action on the same tick that you commit the mining action, you'll do the mining at the speed of the fletching. So I can hold down spacebar and it will automatically just fletch the first thing that it can. And if I immediately click on this rock as well, you can see I instantly mined it there. And that's due to 2 things. Number 1 is I'm rolling in 4 tick speeds instead of 5 tick speeds. That's great. That's a 20% increase if I can be on top of the timing. But it gets a little bit better than that, because you notice that I stepped away from the rock and then stepped back into it. With this tick manipulation method, if you walk into a rock and you don't already occupy the tile next to it, you actually get 2 separate rolls at the chance of getting the mineral. And in the case of that first rock, that was just very lucky that I got it. But if I walk out and walk back in constantly, and I nail the timing on committing these actions in the same tick, I am every 4 ticks getting 2 rolls on this rock, which essentially means that my mining speed goes down to 2 ticks compared to the 5 ticks that I usually would do. You can also see that this is a lot more click intensive, and I'm messing up the timing a little bit because I'm also talking over it, and there I just didn't click the log. So you mess up a little bit every now and then, but even with the mess ups, I am just getting so many more ores so much more quickly. That said though, I obviously can't do this for hours on end. Most of what I do these grinds through is just AFKing while I'm working. That allows me to do this 8-10 hours a day without too much trouble. Obviously, I can't do this while also working because you are constantly clicking on rocks while doing this method. So the majority of the XP still will be gained through the normal, somewhat AFK method of just mining as we know it. But a handful of hours a day of doing this could add about 10% in total, maybe 20 even, to the total experience that I get per day. But as a fun in-between little checkup here, I'm going to bank everything because we've got enough gems in the bank to reach level 43. As you can see, my banked experience should get me to level 43 if I include the leather that I have, that is, but that shouldn't be a problem. So let's go ahead and cut as many of these as possible and finally get that diamond processed as well. Level 42. Cutting gems, it takes a while to get them, but as I'm mining an insane amount anyway, it's kind of free crafting XP, to be honest. It's a level 43 exactly. So now we can dump all of this back into the bank and take out the, I think I have like 50, where is it? Diamonds, and well, only the first one is a chunk task, but all the rest is just satisfying. Either way, that is a Self-imposed. Chunk task complete. Mere moments from now, we're gonna have the magical moment where we're under 10,000 experience away from level 70. I think this is the last inventory of arrow tips that we have to process. Either that or I am just off by a little bit. Oh no, that's bad news. That's not good. I don't have enough. And that should be enough iron to get me there once I smith this into literally anything. And just to be quick about it, I'm gonna smith them into plate bodies. That's one of them. That's the second level 70 smithing. I do not expect the adamant to end up being faster than the mithril, by the way. I'm gonna test it, I need the numbers for it, but first adamant of the account. That feels really good. Alright, before we move on and do all that testing, I've gotten a few clue scrolls that I've been saving up. Most of them beginners, so let's go see. Nothing much that I could want from them at this point, but maybe it'll be a fun little thing to open a casket or two. That's one casket, and I still got, I think, 4 clues on the ground, so let's go do all of those before I open it up. Casket number 2. You know, this always could be the one step that I get back to back and give me a clue casket that way. That would be actually the most fitting thing ever, because I've been complaining about getting no back-to-back steps. If this is a back-to-back step that gets me a clue casket, I think that would round out my beginner clue grind fairly well. So let's see. It's another clue. And it's not a back-to-back. Never mind, we drop it. We only open 2 caskets. And the first one gets me the water staff. This one is useless. I don't really have a use for this at all. But hey, it's nice to have, I guess, maybe in the future. And then we've got more just steel junk. Alright, I've got nothing else to do. No more procrastination to be done. All that I can do at this point is do the adamant tests, and I will see you with the result of that in the spreadsheet. We're back here with the spreadsheet, the original spreadsheet, just adjusted to work off of going from level 70 to 88, and the experience per hour that we were at before, the amount of hours that it would take me to get to level 88. This is the new spreadsheet. Done all my testing except regular adamant. You can just ignore this. Haven't actually done that test because I did tick manipulation adamant, and it is so much worse than tick manipulation mithril. I don't even need to test the non-tick manipulation version. So, the breakdown. The frogs per hour go up by about 4 for every max hit that I get, which spaces out between iron, steel, mithril, and I'm extrapolating to adamant arrows. I'm also adding in 160 XP per hour here for lamps. So I've got a separate column for the XP with lamps and then how long everything takes with those lamps. And as you can see, everything has sped up a fair bit, where before our XP rates were in the range of 15 to 1700, now they're in the range of 17 to 2200 XP per hour. And the amount of hours that it takes to get to adamant is down from, at the slowest, 2054 hours, and at the fastest, at least without the tick manipulation, 1614 hours. That means that the improved kill speed against the frogs, as well as the improved mining speed, has gained me straight up 400 hours faster progress. It's still over 1500 hours though, still over 3 times the amount of time that I've already spent here. This is still 6 or 7 extra months. This was a meme grind. It always was gonna be a meme grind, no matter if I just did the mithril portion or if I did the entire thing. I wanted to see how far we could push this, and we've pushed it quite far. The first initial calculations were 2800 hours. 500 hours later, we're down to 1300 hours. At least in theory. That means that we've optimized away 1000 hours of grinding. But I think it is time to move on. Smithing is getting locked until I unlock a furnace. At which time we'll take another look at what the XP rates look like with a furnace. It's going to be considerably better. And it's likely going to rely on me getting either iron or steel at that point. And that brings me back to the chunk map, because it does one thing in particular making that decision, and that is make Lumbridge even more scary. This chunk already has 2 skill capes in it, defense and woodcutting, and it also now holds a furnace, which would mean that this chunk adds on the rest of the adamant blade putty grind if I roll it. I suppose there's nothing more to it, we just gotta roll a new chunk. Let's see, what is it? Oh, come on. Draenor Manor. Okay. It rolls me more toward Varrock itself, which is both good and also a little scary in some ways. But there's no current tasks for this chunk. And while it doesn't necessarily unlock anything for us to do, what it does unlock is a really awkward walk toward Draenor Manor, because we still don't have North Draenor. But it unlocks, I believe, a way for us to get a proper spade. Maybe we also have access to... Can I even actually enter the manor? Maybe not. What is this tile? Is this tile in the chunk or not? I think it is. Let me check on the map. Oh, nope. It is not. Maybe if I walk around I can get into the manor, but otherwise I might not be able to enter this at all yet. And the next one. Come on. It is Falador. Let's take me there. I still have no new chunk tasks because I think I can only access this outside area. It's not a death chunk yet until I roll chunk either 10 or 11 and then whatever this is, and then also this one, because I can't actually enter the city yet. But we're rolling more and more chunks, which makes the chance of me rolling into Lumbridge smaller and smaller. We're down to a 1 in 11. And it's Barbarian Village. Surely we have some chunk tasks here. No, yeah we do. Yeah, we do. Oh, we've got a fair few. I think they're all going to be relatively easy, because it's mostly just doing the Stronghold of Security. That's that though. We've got another furnace on our hands. Not ideal.